What's up, you guys? James Strickland here. Welcome to week 40 on my road to 700 pounds on bench press. So you'll notice I'm in a little different setting this week. I am in Austin, Texas. My wife and I are very big into PTA and volunteering with the public schools. And she's got a conference, so I've got the three kiddos with me and just taking a little bit of time to just be a dad and hang out and have fun, get a lot of good food in. Definitely go to the a couple swimming pools and new restaurants for sure here in Austin. This is just right out, well, it's about 2 hours outside of Houston. But definitely wanted to hit you guys up with a recap. I don't know if you've seen the 665 that went down. I went ahead and posted that a little bit early this week so you guys can see the actual lift. But this will be the commentary and the recap for the whole bench day, as well as my day two upper accessories, shoulders, and things like that, as well as the squats and deadlifts. I will be backing off my squat and deadlift from this point until the meet. Thinking about sometime late in this month. I want to see how the next two bench days go, just to get the basically get the feel of heavier weight. I think that was one of the issues with the last meet, is just kind of ramping the weight up just a little too quick for my own taste and personal preference, really, because everybody's a little different, and doing a little bit too heavy too soon, and then basically trying to go into the meet right away. But I'm going to go ahead and, without further ado, jump into the recap for this week. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm not going to be doing any Q&A just because I'm a little strapped for time. I didn't get a chance just with traveling to get those compiled this week. But make it a short video for you guys, and then we'll just kind of recap things next week, and I'll add some of that stuff back in. But let's go ahead and show you the video and hop right into it. All right, starting with one of my last warm-ups here. I like to show you guys this. I'm at Dub's Barbell Club in Spring, Texas. This is $4.95 on the bar. I have a couple of boxes set up on each side. I am in an open rack, but I do really appreciate face savers. This rack doesn't have them, so I went ahead and made my own. Just in case I needed to bail on the weight or something catastrophic happens, I definitely want to be safe. Really, really smooth on that. I am doing some meat commands from this point forward, just so that I am used to the start, which I will have in my next meet, the press, obviously, and my rack command. 585 here. I've got Justin Dubs lifting off for me. $585 here. Smooth and controlled. Not looking to do super speed on that. Normally you see me do a lot faster on 585. This is definitely wanting to mimic meet situation as much as possible. Taking all the extras out. This is my last heavy single, 625. Contemplating the way that this has felt in the last couple of weeks, doing about a 600 or so in between this and maybe a 630, and then whatever my top set is, because you'll notice just a little on the heavy side. I mean, it's 625 pounds, yes, but I did notice last week that it was a little bit sluggish than I would like. So I think I just need to be a little bit warmer. Obviously, doing the 625 warmed me up plenty, and going to move right on to the 665 main set. Got a couple of side spotters here just for precaution. Obviously, like I said, if I had to bail on the weight, it's going to come down on those boxes, and it's not going to be an issue. But I definitely don't want to go swinging from one side to the other. I definitely don't want to be getting out of the groove too far to the left or the right or something like that, because obviously the boxes can only save you so much. Solid press. Found my sticking point, but overall, extremely happy with that. I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, this is a lot of weight. This is more than 90% of 700. Just making a little stab there. The fact that elbow sleeves don't help that much. I like to make that a point because a lot of people will just assume that when I wear elbow sleeves, it gives me a lot of help. Well, obviously, it's not helping much here. So I actually do wear my elbow sleeves one size larger because I wear them for joint health, and I don't wear them for weight help, if you will. I don't want a lot of help or assistance in the lift when it comes to my equipment that I wear. I wear wrist straps for wrist safety. It's very possible that you could, your wrist can only be so strong. You take 700 pounds and you move it 1 inch. I don't care how big your wrist is, it'll snap. So wrist straps are there for obvious reasons. Elbow sleeves I wear because I do not want tendonitis. It is something that it definitely can creep up on you. That keeps my elbows very, very healthy. And I can take them off, a couple of weeks before the meet. I could take them off just for the meet and still do just as well. Same thing with knee sleeves. Now this is a static hold. This is to get my body used to a heavier weight. Holding 755 here for about 10 seconds or so. This is to really just spike my central nervous system. I really, it's a lot of weight. This is obviously about 90 pounds more or so than what I just did for a single. And you're going to feel it, but it definitely allows you to get used to a heavier weight so that the neurological senses aren't shocked when you show up on meet day and do 700 or so pounds, or whatever weight you're going for, just a static hold at that weight or more. Working on my speed bench here. First set is always just a little bit off. Felt very much more in tune with the speed on the second and third set. I only showed you 2 there. Moving on to the wide grip bench. I did a couple sets here where my pecs were kind of fried from the earlier sets. So I think I only did about 4 reps on the first set here. Let me see if this is the one. And then the last couple sets, here we go. I did the full 6 reps. So obviously they feel, and you can see they look a lot smoother. So it's just kind of switching gears between doing a 1 rep max, a static hold, speed bench, and then wide grip bench. It's a lot of work, and I'm definitely getting fatigued by this point. And I'm not even really halfway through my workout, obviously. Making a little joke here, trying to have a little bit of fun during my workouts. So moving on to some body weight plus 145-pound dips. Definitely shoulders are tight, triceps are sore. This is just kind of this time of the season where things are heavy. Things are definitely moving along. Main sets are really what my main concern is on performance. But I definitely want to make sure my accessories are there because, like I've stated before, I like to use this analogy. My main sets are a way of kind of testing what my strength is from week to week. In order to get stronger from one week to the next, I use my accessories to get stronger. So, for example, last week, 650 was my testing strength. I don't think I would have really had a solid 665 that I would have liked to have done. But the accessories that I did last week helped me to get to a 665 this week. The accessories that I'm doing this week will help me get to a 675 next week, and so on. That's a good way to, it's not quite that easy, but that's a good way to explain it in the importance of accessories. Got a few sets here with seal rows. This is an excellent back exercise. If you can set it up properly, obviously you don't need to have as elaborate of a setup as this. You can do it on an incline with maybe just the front propped up, or even just an incline, as long as you have a little bit of clearance below for either barbell or dumbbells. This is a PR for me. I want to just test things out and see how my seal rows were doing. 410 pounds there, so excited that that's moving along. This is a great shoulder exercise, the IYT raises. Showing you a set here. This is a great, obviously preventative measure for the shoulders to keep them healthy. My shoulders by this point in the workout, and not just just the point in the workout, but just because of my wider grip bench now, my shoulders are pretty much always tight. So I need to do things like this, as well as band pull aparts. As far, I need to do massage, ice, heat, and I keep a whole regimen of that type of pre recovery and post recovery exercises to kind of keep me healthy, because the shoulders are definitely detrimental if they're hurting to the bench. So I definitely want to make sure that they're strong, that they're solid, and that they're going to support whatever work I need to put on it. So I got some paused floor flies here. Started off, these are some RPE based flies. So basically I started with a 7, went to an 8, 9. So you'll see that I progressively get a little heavier with these. My pecs feel a lot stronger now that I've been focusing on. Obviously, wider grip bench works the pecs a lot more, but I've also been making sure that I'm keeping a great mind-muscle connection when it comes to my accessory work, even targeting flies, especially the flies, because I do feel very vulnerable after all of the other stuff that I've done today. Going in and doing 75 pounds of dumbbell flies here, I need to really make sure that I'm staying extremely tight and staying in the groove, not getting out of the groove, because you can really hurt yourself. But if done properly, these pec flies will really build some size and some strength in those pecs. I noticed obviously my sticking point is about 6 inches up now. There's some things that I can do to address that. A couple things you'll see is I've added a couple more accessories even into this particular day. These 75 pounders being one of them. I wanted to go a little heavier and really target the pecs. And the band pushdowns here is a great tricep exercise, yes, but more for the elbows to keep them healthy. But later in the week, as you'll see here in a couple minutes, I'm going to show you guys some extra tricep work that I've done, because the sticking point being about 6 inches up is not a lower end or a speed off the chest issue. It is a transition into the triceps. My triceps are extremely strong, but there is a weak point right when they're not quite engaged. And so that weak point is worked by doing pecs, and by doing tricep. And that all those three muscle groups working in sync to fire at the exact moment that they need to is going to get through that sticking point. Another thing you can do is work on dead press or isometric presses in the area of your sticking point. And that will definitely help. So this will be one of the last heavy days that you see before attempting my next 700. And heavy, when I mean heavy, I mean getting close to 700 or so on deadlift, or going much above 600 on squat. This is my last warm-up with squat. I like to see how they move on video before I put any extra weight on there. Because let's face it, I mean, even though I'm a 700-pound squatter, I get under 500 pounds and it feels like 500 pounds. I get under 600 pounds and it feels like 600 pounds. I definitely am cautious. I'm never going to be the guy who's too ballsy or too what's the word, cocky, if you will, under a weight that's 100 pounds less than my max or whatever, because the weight can still hurt you. So definitely play it smart. So moving on, going to do a top set here. Was aiming for 5 on 620. That would definitely be a PR. I did 615 for 5 last week, and wanted to see if I could go ahead and do 620 for 5 this week. You'll notice I only get 3. I like the form. The form didn't really break down, but I felt like that my output was getting way too close to about an RPE 10, which is basically a max. And I am trying to, well, not trying, I will stay away from maxing out on all lifts, including bench, because you max out of the competition. You don't max out 3 weeks, 4 weeks out from a competition. So I went ahead and played it safe, shut it down, 620 for 3, chalked it up as a PR. I'm happy with that. Moving on, going to do some deadlifts. So I wanted to see roughly about the same thing. 685 last week for 3 was very easy, but my straps broke. Got some new straps here from Slingshot, Mark Bell, one of my sponsors here. So definitely appreciate those new those new straps, they definitely are heavy duty. Went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to go, since this is my last super heavy day, I'm going to go ahead and go for 700 for 5, and came up with 3. Very similar situation. Could definitely feel that the strength was there for 5, but it would have been a max out. I don't want to max out. First rep is always just like breaking the ice here. Take it a steady, get a good breath at the top so I could brace internally on the way down. Went ahead and shut it down, like I said, at 3. Happy with that. No injuries. Going into day 3, next day. Lat pull downs here. This is 220 pounds. Definitely another good back exercise. Did get a care package in from Slingshot, so you see I'm wearing some new Mark Bell cuffs there. I think I'm going to transition to these just because I feel like they don't give me any help, but they're not quite as heavy as the sleeves. But these are a little bit tight, so I think I'm going to have to go and upsize on them because they're a little bit uncomfortable. Moving on to the front raise, side raise, rear delt that's bent over fly. These are also very good for the shoulders and the rear delts. Definitely a good primary mover in transitioning into that top part of the bench. Some throat pulls with 60 pounds. So easy, I nail myself in the face sometimes. Comes with the territory. This is definitely another good upper back, rear delt exercise. Moving on, I got some light bench press dumbbells here. First sets were 90, and then I went ahead and did a quick little burnout here with 100. And I guess it wouldn't technically be called a burnout. Like I said, I want to go to max. I probably could have done a lot more reps than 30, but I went ahead and just banged out a quick 30 reps with the 100-pounders here. I could have gone heavier. You know, there's 120s in this gym, but like I said, I'm literally not trying to max out. I am definitely trying to conserve some energy where I can, but get some work in also where I can. This is my straight arm dumbbell pullovers. Another preventative exercise, as well as kind of a therapeutic stretch for the lower pecs, even upper pecs. This is definitely a relaxing exercise for me, but you still want to stay tight. You don't want to just sling the dumbbell around, and you know, even though it's fairly light, I mean, I'm sure I could put on triple this weight and still do the exercise, but that's not the point of this exercise. So next week, like I said, I've got 675 as my planned 1 rep. Very excited about that. I would be lying to you if I wasn't nervous, but that's a good thing. I was nervous about 650 last week, nervous about 665 this week. You know, I get nervous anytime I've got a significant amount of weight on the bar, and there's you know, room for injury. There's room for messing up. There's also just that nervous energy, just going and doing your best. So it's not a bad thing at all, and almost wouldn't even call it being nervous. It's more just anxiety. But you got to keep that under control. The way I do that is making sure that my stress is on the outside or down, making sure that I'm eating well, recovering well, just making sure that everything that I can control is under control, inside the gym, outside the gym. Getting ready for super heavy weights takes a lot of mental preparation as well as physical. And even as a non-elite athlete, I knew that from the very beginning. So it's definitely something that I apply in my gym life these days. So this is an extra tricep set that I threw in at the end of the week here to help with that sticking point I was talking about 6 inches or so up. I definitely want to see the weight move just as fast or faster next week. And I want to see me bang right through that sticking point. That's the goal of mine. So we'll see how these exercises help. I definitely had a huge pump after these tricep exercises. Definitely felt every single rep, but that's good. I know they were working, and very happy, to be able to put in the extra work and have a little extra energy at the end of the week to be able to kill these triceps. Even though triceps are definitely a strength of mine, they can save my butt a lot of the times when I get to that heavy sticking point at the top. I can really just bang it out and take care of business. So as I finish up the last few sets here for the week, want to invite you guys to subscribe, definitely like this video, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate you guys for watching, for following my journey, just for everything, all the comments and everything. I really appreciate the support. I really think that I can give back whatever I've kind of learned, if you will, in the last few years of competing, and obviously my lifetime of competing in various sports, just to share that with you guys and see if I can't help out in any way. If you guys have any questions or concerns or anything like that, I definitely want to help you guys out. Hit me up with an email, swimhack@gmail.com. Definitely leave a comment below. Let me know. I will be still taking questions and answers for next week and the following week. So if you have something specific you'd like for me to address in the next video, let me know. Just drop a comment below. But once again, please subscribe if you haven't already. All my recaps are still up on, so you can definitely check out weeks 1 through 40 with the road to 700 pounds, and I have got about 20 or so weeks on my road to 2,100 pounds, which was already accomplished back in last August at the Boss of Bosses meet in California. But once again, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Find me on Instagram @swimhack, and I will see you guys next week for week 41 on my road to 700 pounds. See ya.